The families we will meet in this series are facing one of the most confronting experiences of their lives. Their children are critically ill, and the local hospitals looking after them don't have the specialised emergency care they need.
She's actually getting tighter. I'm not getting on top of it.
Over the next few weeks,
Critical lights and sirens.
we follow the doctors and nurses who work with NETS, a neonatal and paediatric emergency transport service that brings intensive care to the sick child's bedside, stabilises them,
And right now our focus is on making sure he gets all the right things done.
and then travels with them to a specialist hospital. This gives critically ill children their best chance of survival. 20-month-old Jacob Hooley is a very sick little boy. A sore throat has developed into a life-threatening illness. NET's team, Dr Becky Torrens and nurse Rose Brosnan, have been sent to Gosford to transport Jacob to Sydney Children's Hospital.
Can we also suction his oropharynx through there with a larger one?
Despite their best efforts, Becky and Rose have been unable to stabilise Jacob for transport because the tube which was inserted to help him breathe keeps blocking with secretions caused by the infection.
That's all in his lungs, is it? Such a difficult, dodgy airway.
Becky has called the on-duty anaesthetist to insert another tube.
Which one?
It's definitely a lock tube.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll just change it.
Jacob's parents wait outside the operating theatre while the team works to make this critical transition as quickly as possible.
Let's just have a little look, shall we? Does it actually feel any easier?
No, it feels just the same. An anaesthetist is, in a sense, an airway expert, particularly when it comes to an abnormal airway, and Jacob's airway was extremely abnormal. Okay.
I've got it, that's all right. I'll hold it. Just gently tap.
Oh, beautiful.
You're a legend, Chris.
Oh, you're a monkey.
Does it block?
Yeah, the stuff that's coming up is really, really thick. It's lumpy, like rice pudding.
Rice pudding.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit longer. I might just phone Coord and get them to phone Sydney Kids and tell them we've had a delay because of the tube change. We'll do a gas. And then I'll go and speak to parents. The main problems we're dealing with at the moment are making sure that we keep an airway for him, and that's why we're making such a fuss about suctioning it out.
Sure.
And we had to change it just then, is because it had actually got blocked up with secretions.
Is it like life-threatening at the moment, like with his airways?
We've got everything secure and stable now.
I knew it was serious, but I didn't want it to think it was life-threatening. And when I said to Becky, is it life-threatening, fully still expecting her to say, no, it's not, but it is serious.
I can't tell you. I'd like to be able to tell you how long it's going to be.
And she couldn't turn around to me and say, no, it's not life-threatening. So I think then it hit me and I was petrified that something was going to happen.
So there's no way you could have done anything sooner. And if that thought ever crosses your mind, put it straight out of your mind, okay? Because it's got no place in your mind.
Sure.
Okay. I want you to be prepared.
The worst part was I couldn't do anything, but the best part was the doctors was letting me know everything that was going on. And they said it didn't matter if it took 6 hours, they weren't going to leave that hospital until Jake was right to go. And they didn't.
Yeah. And we're going to continue intensive care treatment all the way.
I know it's a new tube, but I feel like suctioning before we go.
Sit down. Next light.
You all set now in the back rows?
We're fine.
I broke down in the helicopter, like I'd been trying to be really good, like sort of in front of all the nurses and doctors. You don't want to be a blubbering mess, and also for Peter too, like he was worried enough, he didn't have to worry about me as well. But you've got the little headphones on and the microphone, and all I could think of is the pilot's going to be sitting in the front listening to me going like this. It's a blubbering mess in the back.
Got all your bags?
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Not a drama.
Thanks for the safe flight.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Trust everything go all right. Thumbs in the hands of the expert. You're right.
I'm really worried about that tube. Hi. Okay. All right, so this is little Jacob, who I believe you're expecting.
Yes, we are.
Hi, how are you?
Sorry to make you like
Two.
We're grounded and, yeah, we're at the Children's Hospital at Randwick. Yeah, I can't get past the tubes and all of that, yeah. So, in a pretty sorry state, but fingers crossed.
It's great to get a few things done before the day really starts.
Andrew will begin his 24 hours on call with the 7 o'clock handover.
Andrew Berry, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. This is Diane.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, we've got one more team actually to come home, but they've landed at Randwick, where I got the bed for that baby from Gosford.
Okay, that's fine. What else is happening?
In Sydney, Dr. Stefan Mazur starts his day with a different ritual.
I love sports, heavily into sport, all kind of sports. I did a phys ed degree before I did medicine. I try and keep fit, exercise most days, which I enjoy, and also it's just a good stress relief.
Dr. Arietta Fasalele comes to the end of a 12-hour shift.
Another half hour before you take over. Hopefully we won't get called out.
Hi.
Or so she thinks.
We've got a 10-year-old boy that's been hit by a car, lost of consciousness for 5 minutes at the scene, eyes deviating to the left. If we can get a team underway by child might be first preference.
While Arietta and Stephen prepare to fly to Wollongong, David and Stefan are going to Liverpool to retrieve a premature baby who may need an operation that cannot be carried out at Liverpool Hospital.
So I'll just give you the story. This is baby Ma, who's born at 23 weeks plus 6 days, now 28. Birth weight 585 grams. It's now only 600 grams, so it hasn't put on much weight.
You know, I have a little saying, you know, life starts at the end of your comfort zone. That's right about where that's my comfort zone, well and truly shot there.
No, hopefully we're not going to have to do too much.
I mean, stating the obvious, 600 grams is tiny. It's really small, and I'm used to dealing with, you know, 110 kilograms, not 600 grams.
Hello, hello.
When Corey was hit by the car, it was clear he'd suffered a head injury. He may also have some spinal damage, but they won't be certain until he's conscious.
Roll him onto our spinal board, lift him up, put him onto ours, and then swap your ventilator over.
Thanks. Yeah, yes, please. Oh, just before you do that, what are you going to draw it up?
Has the girth just gone up more in the last couple of days? Or?
She's always had a big tummy. And
Could be liver too, is it?
The ECT's at 7.5. It was at 8 with the injector rate. It's been pulled back a little bit. Otherwise, she handles really quite well.
Oh, sorry. You got all your numbers?
Yeah.
Another play?
Yeah.
The big thing about that situation is that Mina, she doesn't like handling. So that when you provoke her senses, I suppose, everything decompensates. And that's a part of our job. We've got to handle people. You've got to move them from one environment into a second environment, and then within that mobile environment, we're putting it in and out of an ambulance or a helicopter or a plane, and then we've got to get them out of that transport medium back to where they're going to eventually stay. So there's many transitions there.
Okay. Has she required much sedation or?
No, she hasn't had. No, she hasn't had anything. We're getting some morphine now.
What we'll do is just lift him straight up on the board, and then we'll bring our trolley back in underneath him, and then we'll swap over onto our monitoring.
There is a strong possibility that after an accident of this sort, Corey will have some brain damage. At this stage, keeping him sedated and immobilised is the best thing for him. For his family, the whole process is overwhelming.
What would you get here?
Gus is a bit in shock. So he watched the whole thing. But he went and he rang 000, got the ambulance, did really well. And then he rang me. And as I said, I'm agoraphobic, so I don't leave the house. So this is like really extra weird.
We're just getting, obviously, everything settled and things like that, and then we'll come back and have a little bit of a chat with you.
Okay. Is he all right?
He's very stable at the moment.
Can I just go over the...
Of course you can, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Hello, you mum, are you?
No, boy. Mummy's here.
All I've done since we've come is just put him onto our equipment. He's on the ventilator at the moment. That's that noise you can hear. I think when he came, he was quite irritable, and so they...
I was in there.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like struggling and...
Yeah. And that's a bit, you're worried that there's been a sort of significant head injury. He's just waking up, so we're just going to give him some drug to keep him settled.
I'm not going to leave you for a second, okay? Not 1 second.
Gloves.
Yes, glove.
I just got some sterile ones.
I'll sterile.
No, this is fine. Thank you. So basically, we're just changing all the infusions over to our pumps. Okay, and we're going to give a little bit of morphine just to sedate her a little bit, to make it easier for her to synchronise with our, make it easier for her to be on our ventilator. Okay, just to make her a little bit more comfortable.
When she was first born, the doctor said it was 50-50 chance she'll survive.
This is another baby. Does not get any of this stuff mixed up.
Oh, okay, good work.
I was so scared.
Mum, what's baby's first name?
Mina.
Mina.
M-E-N-A.
Now, if someone's going to alarm, we're just going to change the ventilators over. Do you want to stand by the alarm, so to speak?
I'd love to.
When the nurses were touching her, I didn't want them to touch her because she was so small. I thought they were going to break her.
It's very small. It's going to be very hard to hear over there.
Before, no.
All I can hear is that. You watch it when she stops. You see a good bit of chest movement. We'll give it 5 or 10 minutes on that, and get a blood gas.
It's okay, Mama. It's okay. It's okay. Mama's ready.
15 or 16?
Yeah, I'll go to 16.
Okay.
What's all this? I don't understand.
Oh, right, yes, sure, no problem. Okay, this is the breathing tube, because a lot of the time parents that we meet will be on the beginning of a long roller coaster of ups and downs, and we'll just start the process of informing them and letting them know what we know. The pain relief that we gave him will reduce his desire to breathe, so we have to help him with his breathing.
And this?
These are just in case his eyes are open, and just to stop his eyes from drying out. All right?
I got a phone call to say that Corey was hit by a car. I didn't believe it. I thought it was somebody playing a really cruel joke, because I actually thought they were talking about Casey, not Corey, and I could hear Casey in the background, because Corey's not one to sort of wander off or do anything.
Hurry up, please.
Of course you can.
I just remember seeing him in the middle of the road, and I was just screaming, and I was just horrified because I thought he was dead. My mind was focused fully on Corey and my other children because they were just like devastated. And I was trying to keep myself together so they wouldn't break down.
Yeah. What does he want?
15 per kilo of phenotone.
No, he's got 20.
Okay, must be about 480.
This is not like brain damage or anything.
Well, it is. He has had some damage to his brain from the accident because you can understand he went straight into the windscreen. But we're not sure what the damage will cause until he starts, what are those effects, until he kind of wakes up. Okay. It's all a big, a lot's happened, isn't it?
Whoa. I don't know how to react at all.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions, Mum? It's all a bit of a shock, isn't it? Yeah.
You just got to wrap around this. It's like a little sling, and then we lift so it holds everything together.
It's time to transfer Mina from Liverpool's neonatal crib to the Nets crib.
Just like those slings that the pelicans have.
It seems odd that, given that our job is transporting and moving kids long distances, often the shortest distance is the one that's the most critical. She's just sort of getting used to our ventilator. Now she's nice and settled and relaxed, and then you give her that extra stimulation, and that wakes her up, basically. So all of a sudden, again, she's aware of the fact that she's got a tube down her nose and her lungs, and she's trying to breathe and is breathing against the tube, and it just sort of wakes and stimulates her up again, and that can cause problems. I'll come into here, and then I can carry the tube.
So we'll disconnect to go across.
You've got all the leads, all the wires, the ET tube, the ventilator, and you're trying to go twist the child around, and they're going from one set of monitors to another set of monitors. And I find that particularly tense, particularly because she's so small, so you can't even really sort of see her and see what she's doing. And here I am trying to guard the ET tube, and David's lifting the child and everything else, and you can't even see the child because you've got your hand is bigger than her head, and David's hand's bigger than the rest of her, so you can't even see anything. Okay, little one.
Pop your ventilator on.
Just hang on a second.
Where's that, mate?
I was scared to leave the hospital. I didn't want to leave her just in case if anything happened. I wanted to be there next to her.
Okay, we can see your chest there. That looks good.
Saturations are good, heart rate's good, colour's good. She's settled down a wee bit, handled that move quite well. So, good. We're just about ready to go.
We were just so scared we were going to lose him because it didn't look good.
Are we going to be warm enough for him out there? Covering him? Or just to cover?
Yeah, we'll get a warm blanket, that'd be good.
Yeah,
sure.
Just get it in. Yeah, it's just a bit cold out there on the helipad. Yeah, that'll be all right.
I want to be close to her, like what me and my mum didn't have. Anything happened at school, she can just come and tell me. Anything that pops out of her head, just tell me. That's what I want it to be like.
Okay, we're off. Thank you.
Thanks, no problem. See you next time. I'll see you when you come back.
Mina's mum can travel with her in the ambulance. For Corey's mum, Carol, things are more complicated. Because she's agoraphobic, the pilots can't risk her travelling in the helicopter.
I respect their decision, I do, but this was my child. I wouldn't have panicked. You don't get over agoraphobia, but you have to do what you've got to do. I didn't think I was going to see him again.
She's 28 weeks now.
It's tiny. 150 mils of fluid, total fluids.
Yeah.
And we're on triple antibiotics, right?
Yeah, Vanc, Flagyl and Gent.
Okay.
You can use these are stuck quite well. I just use theirs.
Yep.
The skin's a bit
Fragile. Oh, gee, thanks. Yeah, that's everything.
All right.
Great. Thanks very much.
Good on you.
Before the CT, yeah. Put him on half maintenance fluids. And Mum is on her way up. Okay, she's got agoraphobia, so that's why we didn't bring her up on the plane.
So,
okay.
All at the feet.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, lift.
is everything all right there? Not pulling?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 down. Wonderful.
Well.
Jacob Hooley, after a very close call, has made a remarkable recovery.
We left the hospital at Wednesday lunchtime, exactly a week later. Everything all fine, all bar a little scab on his nose and a croaky voice. So that was the whole thing out of the whole lot of it. And it's made me wake up to myself about doing so many hours at work. It's like everything's changed in my life in that respect of becoming a father again. Like I've always loved my family, but there's always been that time I've always been at work or always had something else to do, but now it's just a family.
You just don't realise how quick they can be gone. Yeah, and we sort of both decided that it's not worth putting so much into work and not seeing your family grow up when they can just be taken from you so quick.
Corey has come home too. There are a lot of adjustments to be made by him and his family. His brain injury has changed his personality.
I think I am different from what I was before the accident. I chuck tantrums, I get angry really fast, and I take things really seriously.
Go! Before, he never used to have tantrums and stuff, but now, like, he's getting better. And we do heaps, but like, he's just not the same.
Before, Mum, come on, run over here. Oh! You won't be able to get up, Mum.
We've had to go through a mourning process where we've mourned for the loss of him. But on the other hand, we're so happy to have him, no matter how much he's changed.
Okay.
Come on. Oh, just lots of love, and you know, that's all we can do.
When 600-gram Mina was admitted to Westmead Children's Hospital, her mum had no idea what the future held. Now, at 3.3 kilos, Mina is home, and whatever the problem was, it has resolved itself.
In the end, it was just because she was premature. Her insides weren't developed properly. 3 weeks after she was born, I was able to hold her. I'm just happy to have her.